everyone, welcome back to Little Tica and Big Eats. Thank you for joining us on this episode. My name is Ari and I'll be your host. On today's menu for my family, we are having shredded chicken tacos. These are my favorite and the chicken recipe is actually one of my own. So I hope you guys enjoy, you can follow through, and let's begin. Okay guys, as you can see, I already have my Instant Pot ready and it's heating up. It's on the saute setting. I poured 4 cups of water and I'm trying to bring it to a hotter temperature while we prepare the chicken. The chicken has already been washed. What we're gonna do next is just cut a couple of the impurities off that we don't like, and then we're gonna slice it in quarters, toss it into the Instant Pot, and let it cook for a total of about 17 minutes so that it falls apart when we go to shred it. Let's move along. Personally, I like to use scissors. I find that it's much easier. So, let's cut these little pieces we don't want on our chicken breasts. There you go. Ooh. All right, all right. Perfect. Okay, these look good to me. So now, we are going to take them and cut them into maybe thirds, depending on the size of the breast, halves or quarters. Either way, it's all going to cook to the point where it's going to shred and fall apart, which is exactly what we want. Perfect. All right, you guys, the chicken is now in pieces. We are going to put this over here until our Instant Pot gives us the update that it's ready and that we can throw the chicken in there. Next, we're going to switch our gloves because we've just dealt with poultry, and we're going to move on to the very simple white rice and black beans. Let's go. Okay, for our white rice, we are going to need a little pot such as this. Now, I use 1 cup of rice for my family. It feels like it goes a long way for us, so I always stick to the 1 cup rule. What we're going to do now, I have a Brita water filter. I like to use it for cooking my foods. Much cleaner water. Now, we are going to fill our little pot with 1.5 cups of water. Perfect. Then we're going to take our coconut oil. I love this coconut oil. It really cooks the rice so well. The rice is always moist and rarely sticks to the pan. It really gives it such a good flavor. And don't be fearful, it doesn't taste like coconut. All right. Now we're going to add some ground onion, ground garlic, a little bit of basil leaves. Perfect. Oh, and let's not forget our salt and pepper. Let's go get that. Perfect. Sprinkle a little bit in there. It takes a lot to make rice salty, so no worries. Perfect. Now we are going to go ahead and mix that into the water. As you can see, the water is slightly changing colors a little bit. Put this back here. Now we're going to cover it and we're going to put it over a high flame until it begins to boil. In which time we're going to throw in our rice and reduce the flame and let it cook, simmer for about 11 minutes for the perfect rice. Now, our Instant Pot, look, it's sweating already. That means that the water is hot enough for us to toss in the chicken. So, let's very carefully Toss in our chicken. Beautiful. Nice pieces. I think the smaller the piece, the faster or better it cooks. There you go. We're going to get rid of this. We are going to go ahead and make sure that all the breasts are submerged in the water and that they have at least 1 inch of water above them. We're going to seal our Instant Pot. Sometimes we got to get the pressure out. There you go. It's going to be, what a struggle. Let's see. There you go. You got to really push it in because the steam really did build up while we were heating the water. Okay, so now we're going to press cancel. We're going to go to meat setting and we are going to put it in for 17 minutes just to ensure that it's fully cooked. Now let's leave that alone. Let's check our water. Oh, it's still trying to come to a boil. So, perfect. We're going to move along to our black beans. Now, in these recipes, I am trying to give you guys detailed dishes. However, there are times where we don't want to get a million ingredients and we do not have a bunch of time to cook this meal. So, one of my favorite products, a go-to product, is the Goya prepared beans. I hope you guys can find this in your store and try it out. Really, what a quick and delicious fix for beans. Now, I do make my own beans, but that'll be an entirely different recipe. We're going to pop this can open. We are going to grab a pot, such as this one, my little one. And we're just going to empty that in there. Perfect. Now, you might have to scrape it out a little bit. It does get stuck in there sometimes. Perfect. Give it a that. Beautiful. Now, this is already seasoned, so the only thing I'm really going to be adding is ground onion, a little sprinkle, a little bit of salt. That's it, sprinkle. And some basil leaves. We are going to give that a good mix. Beautiful. Cover it up, and we are going to put it on a low flame. It's already cooked, it's prepped, so all we want to do is really just heat it up. Beautiful. Let's be aware. Now, our water is officially boiling for the rice. You see that steam? So we're going to put that right here. We are going to add our 1 cup of rice. Perfect. Get rid of that. And we are going to mix that in. There you go. And we're going to put this right back on the flame, on the high flame, until it begins to boil again, which will take no time. So just be aware of it as it's coming back to a boil. I would say maybe about 1 minute tops. All right, perfect. Now, our Instant Pot is still heating up, so this may take a little bit longer than those 17 minutes. Always be prepared to add the extra 10 or 15 for the Instant Pot to come to the right temperature, okay? Now we're talking, the rice is already boiling, which means we're going to reduce the flame to a very low flame. Perfect. And we're going to put our timer on because we do not want to overcook or burn our rice. So we're going to add those perfect 11 minutes. And let it sit. Great. Now when we come back, we're going to be dealing with the chicken and the vegetables that go in there. And wow, you guys are really going to enjoy this one. Okay. Now to prep the vegetables that we are going to toss in with our shredded chicken. Side note, those beans are already smoking a little bit, so we're going to just shut that down. Remember, like I said, these were already prepped. So we're not really cooking them, we're just heating them. The rice still has about 5 minutes left and it's cooking very nicely. Beautiful. The Instant Pot is still working on getting hot and cooking our chicken. But let's move on to the veggies that we'll be needing. Here I have a red pepper. It's one of my favorites to toss in with the chicken. The flavor is just delicious. Let's remember the little sticker on the pepper. We never want to serve that. Have you guys ever served someone food, everyone's sitting, you're enjoying it, and then all of a sudden from a distance you see the sticker? Oh, it kills me. Such a beautiful dish. We don't want to leave that there, so always be aware that some of these products do have that sticker on them. Now, we're gonna slice the pepper very thin. We're only using about a quarter of the pepper because we really want just a little bit and more chicken than anything else. All right. Once we've sliced those, we're gonna cut them into little quarters. And we're gonna reuse our bowl. There's no sense in making more of a mess. Remember guys, as you make a mess, just put it behind you in the sink. You'll have a moment to clean it up and then it'll be all in one place. Next, we're going to work with the cilantro. I love cilantro. I love greens, and if you don't have cilantro, feel free to use a little spinach. If you don't have that, feel free to use a little dill. All greens are really so flavorful. Beautiful. That's done. And we're going to collect our cilantro and toss it right into that bowl with the peppers. Ooh, I hear the Instant Pot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move this forward a little bit and sideways. We do not want any of the steam hitting our cabinets if it happens to be that close to your cabinet, okay? Now we're going to use red onion. I love it. I think the flavor and the smell is so powerful. Now, we're going to cut the top off. We're going to go over here. Let's use this bowl for everything that falls off an onion once you're peeling it. I never like to use the first layer. I take it off. It's just a preference thing. So we're peeling. Beautiful. And done. Now I like to use smaller onions or really veggies that fit in my hand. I think that I have more control while I'm slicing and it's safer for me. I have had accidents through the years with bigger knives or bigger veggies, and it's never fun. We really want to keep this going in a really, really fun manner. Okay, we're going to slice the onion. I'm not going to be using the entire onion. I am going to be using half. So for this onion, half means 3 slices. And we're just going to put that back there. We are going to cut these in quarters. There you go. Because we really do want a little bit of that texture, and we do want to see the onions in there in the chicken. Okay, guys. Ooh. I have my veggies. And here I am also going to add a little bit of this minced garlic. If you have fresh garlic, by all means, use it. But for me, this is much easier. Oh, I'm tearing from that onion. Wow. But you know it's good. Great. So we're going to put this here. And now usually I have lemons, but I ran out. But no worries. We have this, so we're going to have to substitute. We don't give up on the dish if we don't have something. Okay? We go on Google and we find substitutes. That's what Google is really good for. Beautiful. So now we're going to move this to the side. Our Instant Pot is officially at the 17 minutes we needed to cook our chicken. And our rice has now 50 seconds left. So as soon as that goes off, we're going to shut it off and we're going to move the rice to let it cool. Remember, the rice will continue to cook, and if it still looks a little moist, don't worry. It'll absorb all that moisture, especially with that coconut oil, okay? There you go. we are going to remove our rice. Let me put it here so it can cool down. Beautiful. Now, let's toss all the little garbage we have here and let's remove dishes. Beautiful. Okay. Now, in this bowl, oh, that was the timer. In this bowl, we are going to mix our ingredients that we're going to be tossing onto the chicken. There's no point in just waiting for the chicken to be done to start doing this. Just do it as the chicken is cooking. You'll see that this facilitates the entire cooking process and makes it for a quick dinner that you can make. Now, remember I talked about substitutions. So I use a little bit of ketchup, organic ketchup. However, if you wanted to go a little deeper with this, you can always use a whole tomato, slice it, chop it up, then sprinkle a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of sugar. And technically speaking, that's a healthier version of the ketchup. But the name of the game is easy and quick. So this is what we'll be using today. So, sprinkle, there you go. Maybe about 2 tablespoons. We're going to use a little bit of mustard, but feel free to use mustard seed. That works as well. And I love a little hot sauce in there for a little kick, but trust me, it's not spicy. Unless you want it to be. So I use about 8 drops. Next, we're going to go ahead and sprinkle in some paprika. I would say about half a tablespoon. Ground garlic, still. We can never have too much garlic. Ground onion, that as well, even though we have onion in there. I like all these seasonings. And again, an all-time favorite in our kitchen, Mimi's Soul Seasoning. God, it goes so well on everything. Good job. There you go. Not too much though, because it can be quite salty. And we're going to use other salty seasonings. Basil, sprinkle that right in there. Beautiful. And ground cumin. One of my favorite seasonings. I can always taste it in food. I can smell it. One of my favorites, and it was introduced to me by my sweet, sweet father-in-law. Okay, we are Hispanic and we are making tacos. So, Goya products it is. We're going to throw that sazon in there. Get rid of that. And we're going to use the powdered chicken bouillon as well. 1 pack of them. There you go. Now the base of our sauce is almost done. Let's sprinkle a little bit of pepper. Because I can always taste the difference between paprika and black pepper, and I like both together. Sprinkle in a little bit of salt. Beautiful. And now, we're going to put this to the side along with the vegetables. When the chicken is done, that natural chicken stock that was made in the Instant Pot is what we will be using to throw into our chicken sauce. We're going to use about 1 cup to 2 cups, depending on how much chicken you're making, and if you want it to be a little more juicy. We prefer it juicy, and also if we have a little sauce left on the side, it makes for a great dipping sauce. Alright guys, we'll be back for the chicken. Okay guys, our Instant Pot is almost done releasing the steam. It took about a solid 3 minutes. So once it's done, we're just going to move it back into place to work with it. There you go. While we waited for the chicken to cook, I took the time to just start cleaning out a little bit, maybe start putting the dishes in the dishwasher. Again, let's use our time wisely so we can make this dinner a quick one. Beautiful. Let's see. Can we open it? We gotta hear that click. Be careful, guys, and please move away from it because there's still steam that's going to come right up. Beautiful. So almost a total of 4 minutes to release this steam. Okay. Ready. Woo! Let's put the sink to cool down. Oh, you guys, the chicken looks amazing. So we're gonna grab our dish and we're gonna grab our tongs. I like to use the really long ones for this. Let's keep our hands away from this very, very hot broth. There you go. Let's pick up the chicken pieces. Nice. It's steaming. You can still even feel the pressure within the chicken pieces. Okay, beautiful. There you go. Oh, and we got one last one. Now I made 3 chicken breasts. It's still a lot of food for us. So I will be storing some of the shredded chicken, freezing it in a glass container for about a week. And then maybe throughout the week I might use it again. So it does make for another easy, quick meal. You can throw this on bread, make a sandwich. You can throw it on salads. And it's an easy fix. But it's still good food, not a crappy snack. All right, beautiful. So we are going to disconnect our Instant Pot. We're going to push it back and let that relax. Let's try to pull the chicken apart a little bit so that we can let that steam come out a lot faster and so that the chicken can cool down so we can choose whether we want to shred it with our hands or with forks. Beautiful. I know some people like to use blenders and stuff for this. I would suggest that for like maybe empanadas or a dip, like a chicken dip. But we do want to keep some texture, thicker chicken pieces or strips for the tacos. Because remember, we are still going to toss it into the sauce. It's going to continue to cook farther and it'll still shred. It'll fall apart even more. All right. We're going to move this over here and we are just going to let that cool down for a little bit. In the meantime, we are going to grab our pan, non-stick, preferably. We're going to use a little bit of olive oil this time. I like to draw a spiral. Done. Perfect. Then we are going to go ahead and toss our bowl with all the veggies that we chopped up. Put that right there. Remember, that was the pepper, the cilantro, the onions, the garlic, and that lemon juice. Beautiful. Next, we are going to sprinkle in and mix our seasonings, the base of the sauce. Beautiful. Let's move that here. All right, we're gonna mix that in a little bit. And before we put this on the flame, we are going to use our chicken stock that we just made from cooking the chicken. Now I have 1 cup here. Please be very careful while you do this. And while we're at it, let's make sure we use our very trusty Instant Pot glove, okay? Just for the sake of being safe. There you go. I'll say that I got 3/4 worth of water in here. We're gonna mix that in. And you gotta judge it. You don't want it like a soup. You just want enough to make it a sauce in which the chicken will cook in. So I'm gonna do another one. That's another 3/4. Let's see. Beautiful. I think the 1.5 really works. Okay. And don't forget, we still have this here, so if we need a little more broth, we can always toss it in, okay? I'm moving my beans that were already ready. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer my pan over to the stovetop. We're gonna put that on a high flame. We want that to start cooking, maybe high, medium high, depends. Okay, and we are gonna cover it with the lid. We really want those veggies to start cooking, for the broth to start boiling and breaking apart all those flavors. Beautiful. All right, great. So, let's see if this chicken has cooled down enough. I mean, you're free to touch it with your hands. Yeah, okay. Well, it's still pretty hot. So, we are going to use forks to shred it. This can take some time. So, by all means, guys, play your music if you can, and it's that right time of the day. You know, crack your drink open and really try to enjoy this. I just became aware that the music that plays from my Alexa in the background, yeah, it's a copyright issue, so I cannot play it. But you guys get the vibe. That does not stop you. Okay, beautiful. We're shredding. Nice, big chunks. And this should just easily be like falling apart. I mean, you're poking into it with the fork and that's it. It splits. There you go. This chicken is my favorite. Growing up, my mom used to make this arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice. It's a traditional dish in Costa Rica. And she used to shred the chicken this way. And I remember as a little girl, my sister and I would run over and sneak a couple bites. Good memories. I will definitely be making arroz con pollo y frijoles, rice, beans, and chicken soon enough. That came in as a special request, and I love requests. You know, I've either made it and I'll share it with you, or it's a challenge for both of us. There's always room to learn more in the kitchen. Okay, beautiful. Okay. I hear the pan, and I can see that the broth is starting to come to a little bit of a boil. All right, guys, that was easy. The chicken is totally shredded. The sauce goes in there. And now let's check on our broth. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna give that an extra 4 minutes. Because remember, the chicken is already cooked. So, while that cooks for 4 minutes, this continues to just cool down a little bit. We'll toss it in, and we'll probably cook it for a total of 10 minutes on a low to medium flame. Perfect, we'll be right back. All right, guys, the timer has gone off for the sauce for the chicken. Ooh, it's boiling. Let me show that. Let me bring that over. It's steaming, it's boiling, it looks delicious and very colorful. It smells amazing. Okay, let's toss our chicken in very carefully so we don't sprinkle ourselves. There you go. Beautiful. We're going to put this here. And we are going to mix our chicken. Nice. Just make sure that it gets properly coated. Beautiful. And you know what? I'm going to just bring this here while we mix it. There you go. Much easier. It's really never a smart idea to be reaching away and far when you're cooking. Accidents can happen. There we go. Oh, that smells amazing. So guys, here's a heads up though. I left all my seasonings out because sometimes you'll taste it and be like, I could use a little bit more of this or that. It's a preference thing. Also, some of these dishes, sometimes when we make sauces can be acidic, or when you use lemon. Feel free to literally sprinkle 2 pinches of regular sugar. No, it will not make it sweet. It will definitely just even out that flavor, okay? And as a last resort, if I still feel I need something, a little trick of mine is to use my favorite Italian dressing and sprinkle a little bit in there. I feel like it gives it this citrusy flavor. It's really nice. All right, beautiful. The chicken is fully coated. We do have some juice. Woo. And back on the stove top. We're gonna put our lid on. We are definitely gonna make sure that that flame is possibly at a medium. And we're gonna let it cook for 7 minutes actually. That way we don't have to babysit it, okay? Great. Guys, when we come back, I am going to show you how everything turned out, but I'm also going to show you my favorite trick for tortillas. Real quick, my daughter loves the soft burrito-like tortillas. My husband likes the stand-up shells, which is such a great idea, and it's so easy to build the taco, and it really holds. But my favorite is the soft tortilla with a crisp, you know? So I put it over a low flame on the stovetop, flip it a few times, and it really, really gives the taco such a delicious flavor and crunch. I'll show you that next. All right, guys, our timer for the chicken has now gone off. So let's shut that flame. Woo! Steamy. Let's bring that right over here. Remove that lid and get it right out of our way. All right, beautiful. Oh, you guys. That is amazing. Beautiful. Ooh. So steamy. The chicken has absorbed a lot of the juice. It's nice and orangey. Let me show you. And we're just gonna grab a little fork. Oops, let's be cautious. Oh, let's find a nice piece that's not too big, because we're gonna try this the whole way through. Let's back up. You guys, doesn't need anything. It is perfect. Amazing. All right, next, I'm going to show you what all the food looks like together. Okay, guys, and now our food is ready. Let's check it out. Here is our white rice. Plain and yet tasty. Our black beans, remember, the very easy Goya can. And our very favorite, the shredded chicken. Oh, I can't wait. Now remember, I told you guys I would share how I like my tortilla. So we're gonna make one. We're gonna throw that right over a medium flame. You can really only do this if you have a gas stove, so I hope you do have one. I haven't found another way with other stoves where it tastes like this. I have not. Okay, now we're gonna see that it's charring a little bit. We're gonna flip that over. If you see a little bit of bubbles building, just press it down. Nice. Oh, you can smell it. Now I really like mine with that extra crunch. So we're just gonna keep flipping it very carefully with our tongues. Oh, gorgeous. And that's it, guys. I'd say that was about like 20 seconds. Delicious. Now, these are some of my favorite taco serving dishes. Now we can touch them. Let's go ahead, put that taco in there. And we are going to start with a little bit of rice. Delicious. Just a little bit. Then the beans. That way the rice can absorb any of the juice from the beans and it's not all pouring out when you take a bite. There you go. Our favorite, the chicken. Ooh, so good. That's a nice big bite. Okay. 1 spoonful. We gotta be able to bite into it. Press that in there. And now, you guys have many choices on what you can put on your tacos. For my chicken tacos, I specifically like a little bit of salsa with a little kick. A sprinkle of shredded cheese. I like the Mexican style one for the tacos. Has a little bit of asadero cheese in there, and it's very tasty. Top it off with a little bit of sour cream. Cool down that spice. And one of my favorite sauces, I always add it to my shredded chicken tacos, is the Hernandez guacamole salsa. And it's actually mild. I don't like using medium, it's a little too spicy, but mild does the trick. We're gonna pop that open, and we're just gonna pour that in there. Oh, so delicious. You guys, it looks amazing. And there you have it. Let's come around and show you. So delicious, you guys. Look at that tortilla. Oh. Now, let's take a bite. Mmm. Mmm. So good. Mmm. You guys, I hope everyone enjoyed this recipe. Please try it out. Post pictures. I want to see how it turned out for you. If you have any questions or comments, comment below. And please don't forget to share, to like, and to subscribe. I really appreciate your time, guys. Until the next time. Check out these tacos, guys. There are so many ways we can serve them. So, to each their own. Cheers!